Hello guys, and welcome to Business Unions. You can utilize your revenue, which is split into 3 sets of buckets, for whatever and operate within its designated boundaries. By doing this, one develops discipline while also making sure that their quality of life and long-term aspirations are not jeopardized. So let's see how we can put this rule into practice. How to use the rule. 1. Essentials, half of your income. You must set aside no less than half of your money for the necessities in order to start living by this rule. Even though this percentage might appear to be enormous to you, it will start to make much more sense once you add up the items that fit into this group. These costs can be viewed as absolute necessities because they must be met regardless of where you live, whether you have a job, or what happens in the near future. Most of us share a lot in common with these goods. Among them could be housing costs, food, transportation expenses, and utility costs like water and electricity. The ratio will allow you to make adjustments while still attempting to keep a good and balanced budget. Also keep in mind that the overall amount matters more than the individual expenses. For instance, while some people live in high-rent regions and can walk to work, others pay much lower housing prices but must pay much more for transportation. 2. Desires, 30% of your income. Unnecessary expenses fall into the second group and can significantly affect your budget. They are expenditures that improve your standard of living. Although many of these luxuries have become increasingly necessary for most of us in the modern era, some financial experts still view this category as discretionary. Well, that will depend on what a person wants to get out of life and what they are ready to give up. These so-called extras include things like your cell phone plan, television package, and even a gym membership. However, if you frequently travel and have mobile-based employment, a cell phone package is probably more of a necessity than a luxury. However, since you may choose which plan to choose, you have some leeway. Road excursions and eating out with friends are some activities that fit under this category. Choosing which items are worthwhile investments is more a matter of personal taste. A maximum of 30% of your income should be set aside for personal discretionary spending, similar to how no more than 50% of your income should be allocated to mandatory costs. Your performance will be greater if you have reduced expenses in this category. 3. Save 20% of your income. Putting 20% of your salary towards savings is the last stage in this rule. This could include savings accounts, retirement benefit accounts, debt repayments, and emergency reserves. In this case, paying for expenses should come right before committing to wants and only after meeting necessary necessities. You might think of this area as your opportunity to advance. By setting aside as much of your income as you can, you will be able to pay off your bills much more quickly and move closer to a future free of stress. In your early 20s, you might not be overly concerned with the idea of retiring. But as you go through life, you'll be forced to swiftly accept this idea. Being aware that you are beginning to save for that phase of your life early would cause very little worry. Overall, the 50-30-20 rule can be a highly effective budgeting strategy for some of us. However, certain factors will decide whether this approach is appropriate for you. You might be able to concentrate more on fine-tuning your finances if you only have 3 primary categories to monitor, rather than getting discouraged by the tedious task of categorizing every single expense. Lack of structure may make it harder for some people to identify ways to alter their spending patterns. In the end, you must choose whether a simplified or complex budgeting method is appropriate for you. Despite the sound dimensions, it's important to remember that your life is unique from everyone else's. The only thing this rule does is give you a general framework. Making a budget that will enable you to maximize your funds is only possible after you have analyzed your income and expenses and determined what is necessary and what is not. If your financial situation changes over the next few years, you can still refer back to the same principles to assist you. However, having a plan and following it will enable you to pay for your expenses, save for retirement, while also engaging in the activities that bring you joy. Life should be enjoyed, and it is not advised to live like a Spartan. Thanks a lot for watching. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet, and make sure that your post notification bell is turned on for more amazing videos.